Greetings, mortals, and welcome back.
I'm not late. I don't know what you're talking about. When last we left off, did I just close the thing that had the link I needed to make? I think I did. Don't worry about it. When last we left off, something was happening, and I actually do not know. I don't remember what we were up to. We'll find out. So, there we go. For some reason, it used to, when it did the link, it would put the title of the thing, and now it doesn't do the title of the thing, so now I have to type the title of the thing, or type a different thing. It's not good. It's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to be nice. Yeah, I don't know what happened today, but for some reason I slept through my first alarm. Then my second alarm is 30 minutes before stream, which you'd think is plenty of time, but I have to go downstairs to the supermarket to get soda because I'm definitely not an addict or anything. And it's all good. And it's all good. And they only had one bottle. So I went to a different supermarket, and the other supermarket had no bottles. So I had to go back to the first supermarket, and the first supermarket did still have the one bottle. It would have been funny if they didn't have the one bottle, if the one bottle was gone. And that's why my life is the hardest life. I have a very difficult time, you know? Let's see here. We are going to click on this button. We're going to check on updates. There's a script update 36 minutes ago, so I guess we should probably patch the game. So, we can do that. Nice and chill. And let's see, what else is going on? Over the weekend, I continued doing the blueprints. Apparently, everyone else is also doing the blueprints. And so now there's like a bunch of, blueprints videos that are showing up on my feed, and I'm like, oh god. At some point, these titles are going to be full of spoilers, and I'm going to have to avoid YouTube completely for a while. Every time I say blueprints near this microphone, YouTube is going to add another recommendation of the blueprints into my feed. This is just what's going to happen. That might sound conspiratorial, but they proved it in court, so... It was proven in court, so that's kind of the problem, is... Actually, it's this microphone that I have to worry about, not the phone microphone that you all are listening to me through. Okay, so we've patched. We have put out our thing. We are clicking the button, and we're going to see what we're going to see. My guess is that we're going to see some problems. That's my guess. My guess is we're going to see some problems. So we're going to the caster save. Oh, we're back to the Dragoon Stronghold, I think. Is that correct? But let me confirm that this is the correct save. So, danger is at Thursday, 3/29. Okay, so are we on danger? Oh, right, we had to save in the middle of the dungeon. I remember now. We had to save mid-dungeon because we just ran out of time. We just fully ran out of time on Friday. So we were literally in the middle of the dungeon. Did we kill the boss? I feel like we did kill the boss, right? I'm going to guess that we killed the boss and be just super aggressive. I need to turn my volume. But yeah, we are doing a ton of damage now. These are melting. Which is nice. Relax. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful DPS. You'd love to see it. That light bolt just hit for 260 damage, which is pretty good. Okay, this thing is moving. Okay, we're at 12 food. Okay, these two are toast. And let's just go loot the box. And this does mean that we're we are pre-aggroing the thingerbobbers. The enemy's upstairs, unfortunately, but that's okay. So, our goal here is to get ourselves up a bit higher. And let's get moving. Let's see. What do we want to do here? I should probably be taking notes, actually, on stuff to remember. Because I just keep forgetting stuff that would be nice to remember. Like, when I'm in the Dragoon Stronghold, like, where to go to be able to unlock saving consistently early on. That's something that I should definitely remember for the melee run. It was hard enough on the caster run. It took me several hours on the caster run to break through, right? Part of that is that the caster run, we've got access to some fairly powerful, but also very slow means of doing damage that we don't have access to on the melees.
Sure.
Which, changes. No. You cannot just sit in your legendary inventory. That's not acceptable. And
yes.
So we're going over. Oh, right. Yes, I remember now. So I think we're going over here. And we've killed all of the oozes. So our goal now is, I think we just save here. Because we have plenty of food. And do I want to try to do some shenanigans here? Man, it would be nice to get... How's this not hitting anything? Why? Oh, okay, there we go. You'd think that I would notice that the angle was incorrect, and you'd be kind of correct, but also very incorrect. Like, I kind of noticed that the angle was off, but I was like, well, I'm pushing the button and nothing's happening, so it must be at the bottom. And I was like, no, it could also be that you have numlock on. There's actually an alternative explanation for this. So we're going to just rotate back to the green. Because we can get in the green, like, right here, I think, right? Oh, maybe not. We have to go a little further. Because now they're oriented all the way at the very bottom of the thing. So we just pop over here. Get our mana back. And then rotate back to them. Let's see if we manage to get this timing. Alright, well, we would have gotten the timing more correct if I had gone the correct direction. Oh my goodness. Look, I'm not failing miserably at basic. But yeah, unfortunately we are going to have to fight these in a kind of slow way because they are a problem. Turns out picking up a Necromancer first was a big deal. I mostly did it because I wanted to have a dark magic user, right? As opposed to like just a normal wizard. It's like we have an elementalist, why would we want to have like a wizard? The answer is so that we could cast sparks and just keep casting it instead of having to split between sparks and poison spray. You know, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like poison spray should maybe be treated as a single target spell because of how big. Well, I guess it doesn't matter though, because it seems like the choice between like which type of spell it's going to use is based off of the combat situation in some way. Like it seems like maybe if the target is close, it like maintains one type, but I don't actually know. I'd actually be curious to talk to the developers about that because the elementalist not being able to consistently cast spells that have a certain like targeting type, because like it's tempting to think of like poison spray and sparks as well, they're both, you know, they're both shotgun spells, right? It's like, well, kind of, but like one of them is a long range projectile that you can use on, you know, mid-range enemies, but which really benefits from either being used as a single target range spell or right on top of the enemy, right? Those are the two things that it's useful for. With like it lacks the damage field specialization that that Sparks has and stuff like that. So like I would also put Shrapmetal in the same boat of like Shrapmetal and Sparks are not really the same usage case in my opinion. Like there are usage cases that overlap, right? By a lot. There's places where fuck. Just fall in. That's the way to do it. Totally intentional. Don't worry. Don't worry. But at the same time, I'm not sure how you would account for that because there aren't really that many spells with a usage case like Sparks. Sparks is really like the odd spell out where it's like okay, unfortunately I botched this badly and now we have to clear through like this entire pack. Okay, luckily they did pop out of there. It's tempting to just like turn on the mouse look mode and just look down. That would be mean spirited. The mouse look mode is very, very strong for casters. It is tempting. Like, it would be kind of funny to just, like, activate mouse look mode and just go completely ham. I don't remember what the button is to turn it on. But that would be kind of a funny way to go about it. It would speed things up in situations like this by a lot. Unfortunately, I've already pressed 2 and it doesn't auto switch when you try to cast a spell. Okay. So, once we clear out this pack, it is my hope that we will have some more options. But yeah, this place is actually like a lot more dangerous. Than I had actually realized. Like it's a really threatening dungeon. The each of these setups here splits the dungeon in a way that makes it so that it's harder to manage enemy swarms. Like for this group, I don't even have the ability to like pull them all the way that I would want to. Where it's like, okay, we split the pack into, you know, multiple packs. Like that's not even a thing I can really do. Is that all of the enemies in the room? Okay, it's not because there's one right here. Yeah. Released it. Okay, bug's done. But yeah, I do highly recommend, for anyone who likes puzzle games, I highly recommend that you try out the blueprints. It is really, really good. And, like, I don't think I've ever seen a game that that felt like, so it's the kind of game that's actually like optimal to stream, except for the fact that chat is going to cheat. Like it's a great multi player game. Maybe I'll go. It's going fine. Oh, jeez! You know, it was going fine until I walked forward off of a cliff. God damn it, this is before I opened the door. But it's going fine. The Dragoon Stronghold is going a bit slowly. We're on the second part of the Dragoon Stronghold. We left the Dragoon Stronghold to do some other stuff and then came back to it. I don't think I can open this without... Man, this slows down a lot. Let's open this. Oh. Okay, well, deal with you. But yeah, for the most part, things have been going pretty smoothly. We don't have anything super difficult that we're dealing with for right now, I don't think. Opening up the Dragoon Stronghold was fairly difficult because like these kinds of sections are like a particular issue where it's like you can't really get line of sight on them from upstairs, so you have to like whittle them down with the stuff. The slimes were an issue, though the slimes were an issue that we could deal with using Fireball to good effect, which was nice. It was nice to get a good opportunity for Fireball. And then after that, we wandered off, and I don't know, did we turn in quests or something? Oh, we cleared out the Harmondale area. We did not save like any of the guards because I was lazy. Shit, where is it? We could have probably go up there. Our Necromancer is going to have a lot of thingers. Yeah. It's simultaneously like hard and also like really early in the game, and they're guards, so it's like they're not like fish or anything. Dragon's still doing pretty well. They have not fallen behind yet. They are, however, falling behind in terms of the utility of what they can do, which is, I think that's going to come back when they get to GM and have the ability to mass fear. But, and they're also going to, even at like, I think it's an expert, they get access to a fireball, right? So the spell version of their breath attack is going to be an AoE, which should give them a lot of utility that they're currently lacking, and will sort of like permanently alter. Fuck me! I did it again. Why? Oh, it's on the other side. The switch is on the other side of the thing. I can't believe I fell down there twice today. I have never fallen down there in all of the things that I've been doing in these runs. This is so sad. Okay, look, don't worry about it. Okay, we're gonna go open this. We're gonna run back. Okay, and then we're gonna body block, and then we're gonna do this. And it's gonna be great. Everything's gonna go great. Wow, I mean this. There's so many targets down there. How am I missing them? That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing that this happened twice. I'm blaming Malekith. You show up and I immediately just start falling off of cliffs and shit. That's on you. That's not on me. That's on you. Yeah, it's, for the most part, it's been going fairly smooth. The damage output that I'm doing, feels substantially higher than the damage output on melees, but part of that is like an illusion, right? Part of that is caused by... So part of it is caused by the fact that I'm investing immediately into damage, and I don't have to invest into things like bodybuilding. I don't have to invest in armor skill. I don't have to invest in anything other than my spells. So that's part of it. But I think that's actually only a small part of it. The more important part is that 5 rounds of combat in melee is an eternity. 5 rounds of combat from range is a very casual, experience, right? Five rounds of combat is very, very easy. Yes, we do have Ascension now as well. So that is the reason why we're running out of mana, actually. Let's see. I think that's all the ones that are in the room. Unfortunately, so I need to draw these out. It is very funny that they got stuck in that doorway. Okay, so for some reason now... Okay, I need to go get my mana back. And, let's see. Yeah, so it's been going pretty smoothly so far for the most part. This is actually the most trouble that I think we've had since we broke the Dragoon Stronghold the first time, which makes sense because we're back in the Dragoon Stronghold itself. Do you want me to just save this? I think I'm just going to save this. We have so much food, and we also have the ability to leave and get more food if we want. And I am like failing at this so badly that I think it makes sense. Okay, so are you gonna? Okay, so we're gonna do this. Nope. Okay, that's rude. So if I turn toward the wall... Is the music messed up? Well, define messed up. I think it's doing... What, like Dragon's Hand or something? Okay, I was hoping that would trigger them to come out of that room. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. I don't... This is incredibly dangerous. Unfortunately... can I use... Sparks is not going to get that far. Oh, it did! Okay. That's excellent. If Sparks is going to get into that room, then the nice thing about that is that there's the potential that it pops them out of there, which would be good. Wow, I targeted that perfectly so that none of them would go through the doorway. Okay, rude. Man, this is where we need Inferno. So if we had Inferno, then this would work consistently. We could basically just kill them with Inferno, Prismatic, whatever. What is it called? Like Prismatic Ray or something? The Light Magic AoE. Any of those kinds of spells would... Oh, actually, you know what we could also try to do? I don't think this will work, but if we target it to this side, I think that... No, because they're going to auto... It's funny, because if I'm pointed at them, I don't have vision on them. If I'm pointed away from them, I do. Oh, okay. We can fire spike. How many can we have at the ground? A few. Funny. Okay. Okay. So Fire Spike has a little bit more hang time than Sparks does. So Fire Spike, we can spam to lean in there. This is part of what I was talking about with, like, the casters have so many tools at their disposal to hit in different, like, scenarios. So... that's going to be interesting and useful. Ooh, nice. One of them walked in and took damage from the fire spike. But because it's now in that room, I can just clear it out. I wonder if I've killed all of the things. What is your maximum? 39%. Okay, so we've got you in the room. So that one we can clear out. I don't know how much damage we've done to the others. This is a Ruffian. Ruffian is tier 2. Okay, that one's toast. We have one that died in that corner. Okay. Let's orient ourselves a bit differently. There we go. And this is a pretty easy orientation to do. This is not super hard. Fire Spike is probably going to be a pretty important part of my arsenal for certain. God damn it. Okay. Well, on the plus side, at least, like... Okay, well, we hit ourselves. That's the important bit. Yeah, we have like 4 of those out right now. That's interesting. Oh no! We can't recast it because we already have enough of them out. It doesn't replace the ones that are on the map. It just prevents them from being cast in the first place. That's unfortunate. Can we tag you? Let's see if I can... Unfortunately, there's a little bit of variance on where the sparks end up going. Yeah, they're very sticky. The issue is that if I go down there, then I'm gonna just die because I can get one shot by them, and they'll come through the door quickly enough that I'm not going to be able to just like use the thing against them. So we have to play it safe and boring. You know how it be. It is interesting though because there's an element of the caster run that's kind of interesting, is that really we do have like slow methods of dealing damage in a way that melees don't. Like generally speaking, like kiting itself takes a bunch of time. So like there are periods where like there's slower and faster ways to fight enemies with the melees. But there isn't that huge a difference in the DPS outside of like literally kiting versus not kiting. And interestingly enough, kiting doesn't actually cost us DPS on the casters at all. Whereas with melees, obviously, it costs you some damage. Because they're not always in range. Actually, it costs a little bit of damage on the casters as well. I shouldn't act like it doesn't cost me anything in terms of damage. Okay. So these do wear off eventually. Let's see here. It's so funny seeing that thing just being right there. The spark that goes in the door but doesn't quite get the angle. Okay, we need to hit the doorway itself with the spark so that it bounces off of the doorway. Because if it's further than that, it won't do it. Let's take a look if we can do a fire spike from here. Okay, fire spike we can do from here. As long as we don't run into too many problems. Though, it's not really doing meaningfully more damage than a single spark is. So, we might be better off just doing sparks. Sparks cost a little bit less to cast. No, I was wrong. Those were crits that were doing the same amount of damage. So, fire spike's hitting about twice as hard. Alright. Unfortunately, we might end up having to do more of this than we'd like, because we have this pack to deal with, and unfortunately we aren't out of spell points, which is rough. We have this pack to deal with, and then we have a few more packs that are very likely going to kind of just pull all at once, and that is a concern. I do have a lot of reserved mana because I have the DPS spells reserved on that character. I haven't picked up any of the elemental spells on anybody else yet, so they're maintaining spells that are like kind of like doubling the party's damage output, including their own. So I don't believe I am too far forward. I don't believe that I want to turn them off. I tried turning them off earlier when I was spamming Fireball and felt like I was doing a lot less damage. Though that was also around the time that the weakness procced, so it's possible that I am overestimating the difference because I was associating part of the weakness damage drop with the thing. Okay, so that room is cleared. That's cleared. We can pop upstairs. We can go save. We have 2 more saves before we are out of them. And then we can move on. So this is done. It's funny because I don't know that much about like most of the spells. So like the fire spikes, I'm like, do the fire spikes like kill me? It's like, no. You're fine. Don't worry about it. Oh, you have the wrong spell up.
Ready.
Bad idea. We didn't get punished, but it was a bad idea. Okay. Things go a lot faster if we only have one enemy to deal with. At least for now. Okay. Rude. Huh. Am I just missing them all, or is this just a very unpopulated... There we go. There we go. I don't want to aggro the whole damn room. I don't think a normal thug can kill me in one hit. We're not that weak. Which, you know, because we don't have disease. Okay, that is the rest of this pack, so we're cleared here. We can grab the chest. And that room is not going to be super dangerous, so we don't have to worry about it too much. This next room is going to be very dangerous. So I don't remember if there's a door here or not. There is a door here. We've got 4 enemies spawned. We're going to cast Sparks preemptively. We should have probably put some fire spikes down as well. And the enemies are now approaching. That before were just kind of dicking around over there. Okay. Okay. Glad that wasn't a brigand. Okay. Okay, we're going to drop some sparks. That is a boss. Okay, so there's a boss here. It's adamantite. Oh, we are completely out of mana. That's a problem. Oh, I'm gonna die. Okay, we managed to dodge the attack. I think I got out of line of sight of the attack before it launched the attack. Unfortunately, this is a bad time to run into an adamantite brigand. I don't have anywhere to drag it. So this is going to take a while to clear out. We do have at least one of them in the room. I don't know if that's the adamantite or if it's a different one. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, any legendary. I saw the except leather armor, of course, and then we found a few legendaries. We have like quite a few legendaries that we found, actually. I think we found like 4 or 5 at this point. We have this cloak, which is an of Doom legendary. I don't think we have any rings. We don't have any rings or anything like that. We did find Yoruba, which isn't a legendary, but is very good. Like, Yoruba is a very strong first artifact to get. Like, we've gotten insane luck with our drops on this. Like, this is the least gear-dependent party for the early game, at least, that I've run in a very long time, while simultaneously being the one that gets like all of the loot. You know, like that's it's been pretty wild. We also haven't found any. I don't think we found any legend. Oh wait, no, we have. We found a bow legendary, I think. Oh, we also found a legendary wizard cap. Right, I knew that I had more legendary. We have a legendary bow and a legendary wizard cap. This would be a pretty useful, thing to have, if not for the fact that I'm not allowing myself to equip bows at the moment. And okay, I'm very concerned that I'm going to drop off of a cliff here. Oh, please, God damn it! Because at the moment I'm using the normal ranged attack for the dragon, so I can't just turn off ranged attacks. So it doesn't really make a big difference, honestly, because like this is a very spellcaster heavy party, so it really doesn't matter that much. Like we've got plenty of ranged attacks. It's not like it meaningfully changes things. At some point, I'll allow myself to do it. What I was waiting for was, oh, does it not? I didn't even check. I just assumed since it's a ranged attack, it would be disabled. Well, I can check that. I can check that. Okay, oof. Because yeah, then if that was the case, then we could just equip that and throw it onto whoever had the lowest amount of durability, which would be nice. But yeah, so that's something that I should probably check today. But yeah, we have a level 47 required legendary that we're going to be creeping up on over time. And we found a lot of legendaries that are very useful for casters as well, which is nice. Like the actual legendary effects on them are really good. Let's see. You are casting Fireball because
Ready to use.
I didn't. Certainly. I'm not actually going to go into that other room, because that'll entail a lot of like tight corners. What I'm going to do instead is try to pull them. Unfortunately, I am running out of mana here. All that ascension that I have invested into has hurt my sustain by a considerable amount. I think that now we pull out and save. We've now killed the bulk of that pack, and we have cleared the way to the boss to a large degree. We're going to wait on our mana to regen a bit, and then we will get the thing done. Let's see. I'm not sure. I guess I could check how big of a difference it's making. We currently have 2.3. Oh, wait. Somebody else was maintaining that. Jungle Fell. Okay. So 2.3. So yeah, I mean it's a really sizable difference. It's at minimum, I think, doubling my mana regen. So it's very helpful, but I don't have nearly enough meditation to actually like maintain in combat yet. We're gonna need to like Did I save? I don't think I saved. We're gonna go save. Yeah, I didn't save. I don't have enough to maintain in combat, but it doesn't take very long out of combat to regen back up at the moment. Let's see here. My expectation is that I just did the investment into Ascension. My expectation is that when we we're going to basically be able to pull ourselves. Okay, we're now out of mana, which is a problem. Okay. If we can avoid it coming through this door, which we're not going to avoid, I don't think. It would have been nice to avoid it coming through that door. If we could get it to go back the other way. Maybe we can. If we go over here, can we get you to... No, you're even further along now. Oh, there's enemies in here, aren't there? There's not. Okay, we don't need to do anything with this room. Okay, so we have the boss here. And we want to kill it before 3 o'clock. Okay, we have 23 hours until 3 o'clock. I think we're fine. Okay. No, we're going to see it. Maybe not. Because I don't think I can hit it from here, right? Yeah, that'll tag the thing. So, when we're most of the way down, but not all the way down, we can potentially tag you. How much HP do you have now? You're still very healthy, aren't you? I think that was green. Weird. Can I just shoot a fireball in there? Because it felt like I might be able to.
Ready.
Nope. Maybe we can with jump. Unfortunately, this is not hitting very hard. But it is easy to do. Okay, it's no longer in a position where I can comfortably tag it with the ricochet. We've done no damage to this thing. I'm going to need to find a method of fighting this that's more efficient than this. Let's see here. We can't pull it out of there at the moment. So what we want to do, I think, is I think we want to pull it onto the elevator, which I think should be feasible. Let's see. Damn. Okay, and I can't use spacebar to make that happen. Let's see, any nasty bosses? I'm trying to think, and honestly, I think that the most dangerous bosses have predominantly been... Well, there was a shadow ooze that was really dangerous that we fought just now. That was actually placed in such a position where it would not allow us to see the other enemies because I couldn't pull it without pulling like the entire pack. So the boss was actually like very heavily utilizing the shadow effect, which was cool. Basically, it was preventing me from... It was making it as if I just was approaching an encounter without Wizard Eye at all, which is pretty cool. This is going to come in now. What I'm hoping for is that I can pull it onto this, and that its line of sight, that I can basically, like, tag the lever before it gets an attack off. And in the worst case, we have a 1 in 5 chance of making this work. Not in the worst case, actually. Please. So, what I want... I can't even hit this from here. Okay, interesting. There we go. So if we get this up there, does this help us? I don't think we can hit it from here. So, let me take a look. Can I hit it from here? No. So, I think we might need the jump spell. But I think that this is probably the way to do it. This is probably the strat. So what we want to do for this one is we need to... So the thing bypassed the actual point that we needed it to stand on, and then I moved around in an unfortunate way. So the hope is that we can make this work. There's also the possibility that we can rotate past it. So this is a normal brigand. I think I can kill... Yeah, I can kill this before it gets to me, no problem. Okay. The boss is now solo in this room. Okay. God damn it. It blinked. Okay. That's unfortunate. Okay. Now the question is there something I can do here that will allow me to clear you? Potentially. We've now passed by it. We can do some amount of damage to it. Oh, this is an issue. Damn. This one remaining brigand. If I had actually pulled sooner, if I had pulled earlier, we could have made something like that work. So we can jump down here, basically. I don't think we can really fight the enemies that are up there from down here. I don't think. But maybe I can. I just don't think so. The Toxic Cloud hit. None of the other spells did. Yeah, I'm not anticipating that this is going to be super useful. So, unfortunately, because of the anti-stick, getting it at the top of that thing will tend toward it just blinking down. There's not really enough space to do a circular kite here, because of the fact that it can kill me in one shot. It's going to take, like, 3 or 4 mana bars to be able to clear this thing out. So, I would need to be playing very well for a very long time in order to make it work. If I could get them to fall downstairs, or blink downstairs, then that could get the job done. If I had the ability to blink them to the ooze area, then that would work, I think, fairly well. I could try to get it upstairs again and just make sure that I move in such a way that it's not, like, trapped in that little corner. That might work. Because the first time it didn't blink down because it had the ability to move. So the other thing that I could try doing, which might make sense, is I could try fearing it. I just hit it because I'm cool like that. And it doesn't look like that's going to work. What I need, if I'm going to pass it, is I need to be able to get the line of sight immediately. That was silly. I need this to be down. So basically, I would need to be able to get it to come around a corner. It's actually very funny that it happens to be adamantite, because I feel like any other type of boss in this location would be like much more feasible than adamantite. But an adamantite boss is okay. There's the eradication, and there is another one here in addition to the one that came the first time. Yeah, there's no way that that room is going to do anything to help me other than allow me to teleport. So what we gotta do is... But it does look like this is the last boss that we need to deal with. So I just need to figure out a means by which I can deal with this singular enemy. And if I can figure out a way to deal with this one enemy, I think we'll be golden. I think it's going to have to involve that elevator. Okay. Fuck, I needed to turn. Okay, shit. I'm just looking to get proof of concept here. Okay, that is really not clickable from very many angles. The other room on the right is just like a short dead end. So with the new way that the enemies path around corners, there's no way that I'm going to be able to hold them away from that corner, I don't think, for long enough to make that work. I don't think that corner's going to work for me. We honestly have a working strategy, and I should be just like trying to maximize my attempts on that strat more than anything else. So
no.
So, are you trapped now? You're no longer trapped. So I feel like if I had hit this a little earlier... Let's see. This is a really rough... Let's lower this. So, most likely in this location, this will eventually drop down on me. But I think this is the most viable strat, is taking like the one hit. We can even Okay, we can even tag the thing. It's just, again, it's really hard to hit the switch there. But we're not really doing that much damage. I need something to fully... Wait. I don't need to kill it there. Okay, wait, we have an answer to this, potentially. We don't need to fight it while it's there. If we... If we can clear our way... If we can... Okay, I think that we know how to do this now. So... I think I might want to save. I've just killed everything except for the boss itself. And I think I'm going to save this. Because we have some shenanigans that we want to engage in. And just allowing ourselves to single pull the boss to make this happen is what we need. We need to get the boss up there again. And we need to get the boss up there. Okay. We need to get the boss up there. And then ignore it. Because we can teleport behind the boss. So we can basically access the boss from a different... I'm in trouble. But we can access the boss from a different angle. And we can probably lock it on that bridge for at least some period of time. We're going to basically try to transition this boss from being in, like, the worst possible location to a good location. So we ignore the boss completely. It's now upstairs. We don't have to worry about the boss. What we do need to worry about is this next pack. And we don't need to worry about the next pack. We don't need the teleporter. We can just go downstairs. So from here, we should be able to rotate back over. The boss is chilling upstairs, and we rotate it over to the bridge where we can fight it comfortably. It has the ability to rotate off of the bridge and come to us, but if it does start doing that, we just drop down. Now, is there the possibility that it drops down with us? Yes, that is a thing that has happened on some occasions. But if it does that, we have other options for how to deal with it as well. So, this, I think... Now, the other thing is that if I hadn't saved there and had just eaten the thing, I'd be able to save with the boss upstairs, which would be nice. But we don't need that because the boss is just going to die. We're not going to need any shenanigans. We are in a post-shenanigan landscape. Perfect, perfect, perfect. No, don't do it. We're dropping. Okay, it's now hanging out on the bridge. And now we have to figure out how to get past it again. Now we have to figure out how to get past it again. Unfortunately, we're now in a position where we've almost like pulled it to the next thing that's basically the same problem. Because, you know, there's another elevator right here. And do I have another route over there? Because I think I might be in trouble here. Ooh, that is a big concern. We've done nothing to it. That's lovely for me. I'm actually going to lift this up now. By lifting it up, we have the ability to block line of sight and rotate around it, which we could probably do on the other one as well. So if we could find a strat, we might be able to get that to work consistently. Like, we might be able to loop it using that as a fundamental, like, starting point. Whoa! I was in a very different position than I thought I was. Okay. We're going to try looping it on the other one, actually. So, this is going to be a different strat than that one, because the bridge is not bad, but it's not, like, perfect. So, we're going to try using a looping strat. We have the ability to block line of sight, which means that we have the ability to block a single melee swing as we're rotating past it, right? So our goal here is to hold on to our SP
Ready to use.
And not waste any of it. Okay, and not waste any of it. Just pop in here. Okay. Now we need to keep an eye on which direction this asshole is going to come from. It's coming around this way. That lets us do this. So from here, fuck, I'm running into walls. Fuck. Okay, it's the dragon, we're fine. We have to jump down, unfortunately, because there is a brigand in this. Never mind, we already killed it. Okay, we drop down, we reset. So we have the ability to, in theory, do this as many times as we want. In theory, this rotation will eventually get the job done. I really wish that I could consistently cast Sparks. But I don't want my Necromancer to be the Sparks caster. So I am made sad. I like the Elementalist conceptually, but it's very difficult to do some of my, utilize some of the cool stuff that you can do as a spellcaster if you can't consistently choose which spell you're using. Hey, Giant Riders. Yep, we're back to the Dragoon Dungeon. We're finishing it up today. Unfortunately, we ran into an adamantite boss in a very, very unfortunate position. I didn't need to do that. I could have just left that Left that up. Once we kill this boss, we're going outside to save. We're gonna go get that done. Assuming that we kill the boss, which is a fair assumption, because why would we not? There's no world in which we fail to kill the boss here, you know? Have you considered not being an asshole? And then you walk. How dare you? There we go. So we got it. I thought we got it in. Okay. I guess we could cast a bunch of fire spikes into the hallway as well. Shit. It's like, wait, you're trying to set up a time stop trap? Not allowed. None of that bullshit. Okay. Fuck. Okay, we got through it for now. Okay, we got it to half-life. We're gonna have to do this probably 2 more times. Fuck, I should have done that. We're dead. I did 2 things there that fucked me. So the first is that I shouldn't have turned around. I should have just dipped. It was too close to me for me to actually do that. The second thing that I did is I used all of my spells in a panic, which just means that it's just going to kill me. Like, there's no way that I can kite it if I'm using all of my spells in one go. I need it to be desynced. Rude. Okay. The other thing that I could do, if I want, since I've put this in the wrong position... No! How dare you? How dare you? It walked off. That's not allowed. What's this bullshit? How dare you walk off the platform? Let's see here. The other thing that I could do is I could try to... Okay. That was not an RNG miss, that was a dodge. We got behind this corner. If I could get... If I could get better at the game... And it is not close enough to cause problems, we can just tag it now. Unfortunately, because we just don't have enough DPS. If this was a normal boss, we'd actually be able to do it. If it was anything other than... Well, I guess Swift might cause problems as well. The other thing that we could try to do, it's a bit shenanigan-y, but we could try to take advantage of the thing that it did the last time, where it teleported down to us from an upper platform. We could try to take advantage of that to get it to teleport down here, which gives us this very long corridor to fight it in, but I don't know that that's worth it. Honestly. What I'd really like to do honestly, is to just clear every other enemy. Because if I clear every other enemy, I think we'll be at 100%. And if we get to 100%, we can save as much as we want. So then we can basically just rotate around. We can casually just save every time we deal a little bit of chip damage and not have to be consistent enough to take it from 100% to dead in one encounter. Which is a reasonable way to approach it. But that would probably... Let's see. That's what I'm thinking I might end up having to do. The issue is that there's a lot of enemies that I still need to clear here. And it's not going to be trivial to clear them, even without the boss here. Because we're going to be in a fairly limited space. Okay. Okay, we got around that corner just barely. That was a very shallow angle. There was a decent chance that it just hit me there. I think that we actually did dip around the corner, but that might have actually just been RNG. We might have gotten lucky. It's difficult to say, honestly. Okay, we can get a little bit of extra damage here. By tossing these down before we release it. And out of mana. If it gets stuck here, then I guess we're golden. It's just going to take an eternity. We don't have anybody else with the ability to do indirect fire.
Haven't seen one before.
It's going to be very funny if it just... Interesting. Oh, because I was hovering my cursor over it. I think we're fine. Maybe not, though. Why did the spell fail? There's only one out right now, right? Okay, it's letting us do it now. I feel like the duration that they have on the map is shorter than the duration of the recast, it seems. I don't really want to move at all. So I think we might just kill it by doing this.
I've never seen one before.
It's going to be an extremely slow fight.
Beats me.
Good question. Maybe? Oof. I should have Detect Life. I think I picked up all the spells. Detect Life is Spirit.
I don't know.
It only has 3,000 HP, so we just need to hit it another 50 times. Ish. And if we hit it 50 times, it'll die. So we're going to tag this. We do want to always have these out because there's a decent chance that it's going to... I don't think I have any... I don't have any mana reserved on Raven. The only one who's casting spells has none reserved. Yup. Yup. Unfortunately, the Toxic Cloud isn't hitting as hard as it otherwise would because we are still dealing on like normal level. We don't have Expert Dark Magic yet. We just straight chilling. Yeah, this is a circumstance where we would be way better served by not having Ascension, because we'd be able to keep up with the mana cost more effectively. Actually, that might not be the case. This actually might be more mana efficient than it was before. We got a lot of extra damage output. That was a 92 damage hit, so... You know, we only have to get through another 3,000 HP. You know. We're gonna be here a while. This is more Karak all over again. Unfortunately. Can I set this to my ready spell and have it actually stay? Oh, is it? I thought I had to get into the green. All right, we'll wait until our mana gets into a better position. Gotcha. Yeah, we got 188. This probably won't be too bad. If I can double my mana regen by just holding off for a bit, we can then burn all of our mana in one go, and then wait, and then burn, and then wait, and then burn. We can do some proper wizard shit, you know? That's interesting. When I cast... I don't have anything set, so you can't set things like fire spikes, it looks like, to your ready spell as an elementalist, because it like loses the plot immediately. Yeah, there is still a decent chance that this is going to get released when it's at like 20% life and just kill me instantly. And that'll be really funny. If that happens, it'll be really funny. We'll just have to see what happens. So we're just going to wait on this while we pour ourselves a drink. We don't need our hands on the keyboard or anything like that. It's not like it's going to, you know, decide to start attacking me right at this moment, right? That's not a thing that's going to happen. Yeah, once we've cleared this, which we can probably clear before the training ground is even closed, I think. Okay, so the Detect Life is definitely incorrect. Detect Life is indicating that it has more HP now than it had before. So we don't know how much HP it has. It has some amount of HP, but probably not 3,500, considering it said it had 3,400 just now. Delightful. Okay. Should probably, as I'm starting to deal damage to it again, swap my hands back onto the keyboard. It's actually dying fairly rapidly, so it's not too bad. Like, each of these kitings was doing about a quarter of its HP in the first place. So, burning through my entire mana bar there, I'm dealing... I think I need to do that maybe 2 or 3 more times to get this done. So, it took a while, but we eventually got a corner set up. Once we get access to things like Inferno, our life is going to get a lot easier. There's a lot of situations where we have the enemies in a position where they can't really do too much to us, that we're fairly safe, but where we're really struggling to hit them. And part of the reason that we're struggling to hit them is because our projectiles are targeting them, right? The projectiles see a line of sight to them and are trying to hit them because the enemy is on screen, even though they're behind a corner, and so it's not doing anything. With things like Inferno, and I think it's Prismatic Light, with those abilities, we should be able to hit enemies who are behind corners very effectively. And that should help us a lot for like the edge cases where we currently only are using Raven. We'll be able to deal damage with Mina, we'll be able to deal damage with Seraphim, Jungle Fowl. We'll be able to deal damage with the bulk of the party. I wonder where that Jungle Fowl went. I haven't seen it in a few days. It was hanging out downstairs. Hope a cat didn't get it. The cats downstairs seem fairly lazy, and the Jungle Fowl is like 3 times their size, but I mean, cats are cats, right? Cats are, in fact, cats.
Beats me.
Alright, so this is getting pretty low. I think we do need 2 more mana bars to clear this. So, we'll just wait, and once we get up to close to max, I think this is good enough. I don't think that we need more than... this plus 1 more mana bar. So... once we've got it cleared, we will just rotate back to the entrance of the dungeon, and then we can come back in here and finish off the rest. The rest of them shouldn't be too difficult. There's a couple of brigands in here. It's like 2 brigands and 2 thugs. We have something in here. There might actually be a boss in here. We don't actually know. We haven't seen this room. But this room has just a bunch of random enemies that should be workable. It's easy to get enemies to peel in here like a couple at a time. So because of how easy it is to like single pull them into here, I'm not that concerned about this room. Because there would need to be like a boss or something like that. You know, I might have actually been wrong. We might need 1 more after this. This might not be quite enough. We'll find out. And so we know 2 of the 3 rooms are going to be fairly easy. And it's, who knows, we might run into another adamantite brigand in this room. And that'll be sad because we'll have yet another of those to deal with. But if we do, we'll have cleared the rest of this shit out first. So... we'll have a few more options. We'll be able to kite for a little bit longer. We'll be able to do a few shenanigans. But the probability that we have another adamantite brigand in that next pack is not super high. You know, it's possible, but it's not a super high probability. So... we're just going to wait, take the easy route, And it's tempting to double speed, but the issue is that sometimes double speed influences the way that things behave in ways that I am uncomfortable with right now, because if it moves slightly differently for a fraction of a second, it's going to kill me. So, it might not, because we might be able to just kite it to death from this point very successfully. But I don't want to take that risk. I shouldn't have started attacking yet, but we will burn through this mana bar. We might kill it here, or we might have to wait until the next one. It's going to be a near thing since we're getting all these crits. Yeah, we need it a little bit more.
Never seen one before.
Okay. If I had gotten up to full mana, I maybe wouldn't have killed it actually, but I think I probably would have. But I only would have killed it because I got so many crits. So, yeah, it takes a long time to whittle these adamantites down, especially if you only have one character capable of hitting them. If I was hitting with everybody, we'd be in way better position. I'm really looking forward to getting the AoE on my dragon. I think that that's going to be a lot of fun. And I think that we're going to have a good time with our business. So I think we have plenty to get the kill here. You know? That was the last shot I had. Holy shit, that almost survived that round too. Okay. So we have the lever here. I wonder if I can use these... the elevators we now know block line of sight. Or at least we're pretty sure that they do. And with them blocking line of sight, there's some stuff I can do with those that I wouldn't be able to do if they didn't block line of sight. We technically haven't seen the elevator block an attack yet, I don't think. So I guess I can't be positive that they do. But we might be able to do some shenanigans on the melee run using these elevators to block attacks. And we might be able to kite around an elevator where every time it launches an attack, we just we get behind the elevator and basically just rotate around the elevator, blocking line of sight for each of its attacks. That might be the way to go for the melee run for dealing with those elevators. It doesn't make sense on the caster run to do it that way because the casters need direct line of sight, which is not a thing that you would get. It means that the positioning would be less optimal. So it's possible that we could make that work. It's also possible that it just wouldn't really work very well. So let's take a look at how much EXP we have. We need 12k to get to the next level. I don't think we're going to get that with our current setup here. So I think we're going to go train right now. So we're going to train up. That resets our counter. And then we can clear the end of this dungeon and clear... I don't think the dungeon completion is going to give us that much. I would be surprised. What I don't want to run into is when we clear this dungeon is not all we need to do. We need to clear this dungeon, and we need to, at the very least, start clearing the rogue dungeon. Though we could actually do the Temple of Ba as well. We could do the Temple of Ba. Temple of Ba, I think, is going to be real easy. Famous last words and all that, but I think the Temple of Ba... that dungeon ain't got nothing on a group of spellcasters, right? I can pull 5 enemies at a time, and most of them don't even have ranged attacks. Once they start spawning in, that changes a bit, right? Like, we'll have the monks that are spawning in and stuff like that. that are going to be potentially dangerous. But honestly, this might be kind of free in a way that makes me feel like maybe I should deal with that. We have jump. We don't have telekinesis. And telekinesis is something that we would want access to before we do Corligans. Preferably. Because telekinesis will allow us to not have to jump into the well. And jumping into the well is going to be the most dangerous portion for this run, right? For these particular characters, it's going to be that. I think that's the thing that's going to kill us. Is jumping into the well, and because we have a lot of really long corridors to fight in. So I think I'm going to just get to the point where I can save again, and then we will clear out this first room. What day is it today? Is it Sunday? It's Tuesday. Okay. You know what? We actually have quests to turn in as well. That just occurred to me. This is also going to give me a quest completion, which means that I probably would be able to get the next level, no problem. Because that's going to be at least like 40% of the level, turning that in. I'm not sure if I'm going to want to do that quest, though. I guess I probably would, as long as... I guess I should have probably waited until my abilities came off of cooldown before I did that, but that's fine. Right. There is a shield here that I didn't pick up the first time because I didn't bother to loot it twice. Okay, we're at 96%. We are going to, I think, clear the back room first. Because... reasons. We're going to swap ourselves to Fireball. And interestingly enough, we didn't pull as many as I would have expected at the opening gambit. But yeah, the nice thing about Fireball, in addition to the fact that it's dealing damage to everybody, is it's actually going to hit stun everyone in a huge area, guaranteed. It's basically like Sparks on steroids in that regard. Unfortunately, I am out of mana, but I'm also out of enemies, so it works fine. So, I don't have enough mana to clear this consistently, but we're fine. Okay. We're golden. So, we have one more here. We should be able to take this out fairly trivially. Let's swap ourselves back to single target, because we don't need... There we go. Perfect. So we have 98% completion now. We have looted a good portion of the dungeon. And we actually didn't aggro the brigand, I don't think. There we go. Now we've got the brigand. And I probably should not have done this before regenerating enough mana back to actually cast spells at it, but that's fine. We're at 100%, but we're not... Wait. Map completed. Okay, then. So we can now save this. We can loot... This is the real one. I believe none of the other chests have, like, anything in them. And we did in fact level up. Okay, well, you know, it's fine. Look, I stand corrected. I know when I'm wrong. I know when I'm wrong. The numbers dictate it. Okay, so we're going to save under danger. We have an unlimited number of saves, so... we can clear out this room nice and casual-like. I also need to remember to loot whatever's in that corner. And we might be able to single pull this room. It's very rude. for this to keep dodging. Oh my god. Man, I am struggling to... There we go. Okay, well, when it rains, it pours. That was at 2 separate angles. It wasn't like I just hit at the same angle twice. We got another thug. We did just save. Do we want to just pull the whole room and see what happens? Let's cast a fire spike first. Just the one. Cast some sparks. And I'm going to set sparks as my ready spell.
Ready to use.
We do have a brigand here. We're being very aggressive, and we're in the green. We've cleared out this dungeon completely. Mission successful. We got a shield. Very exciting. You know how we love our shields in this party. And man, I really needed to get somebody who would use axes. This
might be good.
Let's see. Meditation +3 is not bad. This is a very solid belt, actually. This is going to be very helpful for somebody. I think we're going to toss this on you, maybe? Yeah, let's toss this on you. So this is going to help us a little bit. And we've got our harp. Let's see. Dagger is garbage. We have a spear. It's decent, but we're not currently using spears. Okay, let's move on. So I guess what we should do now is we should go edit the innie to allow ourselves to use bows, to just equip the bows. Let's see, we've got ourselves to the point where we need, like, another half a level or a level or something like that. We'll have to see. I don't know if turning in this quest is going to level me up. But yeah, it's actually after 5 o'clock, so either way, it would have been. I kind of needed to train when I did. We need to be more careful with this run on making sure that we don't get too tired, because if we do get insanity before we get master mind magic, we're boned, right? Like, that's actually a fail state in this run in a way that basically nothing is in a melee run. Not even because, like, it's going to make the run harder, but because it kind of invalidates that character completely for the rest of the run, right? Like, that character I basically just can't use in a way that just, there's no status effect that has that effect on the melees. Insanity is really massively more influential than anything that you could have happen to a melee. Like, even if Curse did have your accuracy, which it does not seem to anyway. Even if that was the case, it still wouldn't have as big of an impact. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick up. This is Berserker's Fury, which is the wrong thing. Yeah, it's gonna be bad. But the issue is that if that does happen, I do kind of feel like I almost need to just treat that as a failure, right? Like, that treating insanity as death for a character might actually be like the way that I have to treat it until we get access to Cure Insanity, because is it interesting? Because I could keep going with that, right? But is it interesting to have, like, Junglefowl no longer be able to do anything for the entire run, right? Like, not the entire run, but until I get to, like, Dragon Sand or whatever, right? Like, is that interesting? Right? Like, it's like, it's an issue where, though, I could get them diseased and then use the fountain that cures disease, right? So, because the fountain that cures disease cures everything that you have on you if you're diseased, I believe. So, I could... So, there is actually an angle there where it's like, no, actually, that creates an interesting setup and challenge
We didn't get here in time.
that is worthwhile. I was 1 minute late. So, now that I think about it, I might not treat it as a fail condition just because it does allow me to... that is a thing to consider. Not looking at data, look at scripts. Scripts. General, I believe. And then ZZ... Ma... Initialize, I believe. Okay, disable bows. We will set to true. And we will check if this affects the dragon. So if this affects the dragon, then that will need to reset, but doesn't affect the dragon. It's not coded on ranged attack. It's coded on the bows specifically. It looks like so. Like that's presumably a completely different command. Perfect. So, where's our? We have a legendary bow. We can equip this on somebody. So this makes spells drain hit points from the target and increases spell speed in the main hand only. So presumably it won't actually do that. But it does have a boatload of endurance. So who gets the endurance? At the moment, it should be one of these two. Who has the lower? It looks like you have the lower overall, so I will give it to you. That's what we're going to do. So give this to you. Yes, and you are doing a melee attack instead of Thinger. And now you are more on par with the other two instead of the person you were matched with before. We have level 37 required for this, 36 required. Stone and Premature Aging. We have this Goblin Cutlass, or Grognar's Cutlass, which is doing 53. This is 59 to 57, so we're not anywhere near the point where we would be swapping that. And just go to here. I think we can't sell right now, so I think we are going to turn in this quest, and then we will reload if it doesn't get us enough experience, and we will just go into the next dungeon instead. And we're gonna have to do like some of these quests. I'm not gonna go with a shield, I don't think, for our Seraph. Perfect. Might and Magic 7 is up to 17. That's perfect. So we are eligible for level 30 now. But yeah, my intention at the moment is to just go with a two-handed sword for them. The emphasizing durability, we could do some really good work with the dragon. Cassowary could be I have 69 skill points. I did not spend for multiple levels, apparently. Whoops. Cassowary has access to Master Regen. It has a shit ton of bodybuilding. I think they get GM bodybuilding, right? Yeah, they get GM bodybuilding. They have a shit ton of HP. They get a lot of durability. Like, how much HP do you have? You currently have 633 max HP with no bodybuilding, right? Crazy amount of HP. The ring bonus is just very good for getting their base stats up. They also have so much armor class, right? 261 armor class, I think, is higher than anything that any of the melees have by a lot, right? Like, if we load over to Lich Stitch, We have 89. Like, we're barely breaking 100 on one character, right? And they're a leather user, which is kind of funny. But the the dragon is very terrifying. Cassowary is living up to their name. And so we'll see. So, in terms of skills, we could pump enlightenment more. We could pump meditation more. At the moment, we are going to Might and Magic 7. And in Might and Magic 7, the places that we're going... make... I don't know what I want to do with you. Do you have Identify Monster GM? You do. So I think you were the person I was going to do GM Identify Monster with, right? Yes. We were going to do the rogue place if we didn't get enough experience. So if we didn't get enough experience to get the bolster level in Might and Magic 7 to 17 from what we had here, then we would have had to go to the rogue place and clear part of it to get that extra experience. But we don't need to do that because we got enough experience to move on. So we're golden in that regard. So we're moving on to Might and Magic 7. And we're going to probably do the Trogs next. I think that that's what we want to do. So you have... I think that it makes the most sense at the moment to get this up to 11 or 12, because it's not going to increase the cost. It just increases our damage, I think. I'm wrong. It keeps increasing the cost. I thought that it only increased cost in tiers. Let's see. Oh, right, yeah, I need to get this up to 8. Let's see. I think I got expert on the other characters. I did not. Did I not have enough money? Let's see. I think I just forgot to do it on the way. But yeah, we need to get Ascension up to expert on everybody. We need to get Dark Magic up. Let's see. I think Cassowary, we maybe just spam Dragon ability. We don't have anything else that we need to do for right now, so we just get 5 more points in Dragon ability. And these numbers are lying to me, so that doesn't matter. Let's see here. You have Ascension at 8. You have Light here. Do I want to get the Self Magic up with you, or do I want to wait? I think I probably want to start pumping meditation on everybody. I think that that's the thing that makes the most sense to me. Goose does not have expert meditation. So we need to pick up expert meditation while we're there as well. But yeah, like if we got another point of meditation, that increases our regen by like over 10%. Which is pretty good. So let's do that. We're going to start pumping meditation to the point where we can get it to mastery, I think. I think that's the strat. You can do Thinger. You need to get Ascension. I can probably just use some Thingers on you. I can also train if I want. I still have training. I don't know that I want to do that, though. Was I inside the tree? I'll have to think about it. So we're heading to Might and Magic 7. Before we do that, we are heading to grab Learning. I am going to find my... things. I also need to fix my audio. We have a lot of you. Who was it that needed the thing? It's you. So you need 2 of them. And that gets us Ascension up to 8. We're going to get Ascension on everybody first. We're going to pick up Expert Meditation on Goose as well. Expert Meditation on Goose is less important than the Ascension, though, because Goose is actually is not struggling as much as the other characters are. So, yeah, it looks like we're fine on cash. We're going to be burning through the majority of our cash on these, but it's not that crazy. So let's grab meditation. Okay. And now you have 0.9. Do I not have the thing cast right now? Jungle Fowl. Oh, Jungle Fowl is casting meditation, and Jungle Fowl has no mind skill. So what are you casting right now? You have Preservation, which you probably should have. You have Fate, which I do think we should have. You know, maybe I should get Jungle Fowl some other spells. Because, yeah, Meditation is important. These others are also important, but you know what? we don't need Preservation. Why would we need something silly like that? Okay, so give me 1 second. I need to mute my mic. I mentioned that I needed that cable was getting so frayed that I needed to replace this headset, and I'm just so cheap. I am so cheap. I still have not gotten around to doing it. I just can't. Part of it is that I'm still contemplating whether I even need to get a new headset or whether I can use this one, which I use for my phone. But like I have like a USB Bluetooth thing that I don't know where it is in the house. It's just disappeared. So I need to track that down and see if I am comfortable just using the other thing. Let's see, this is Jadane. We're not going to Jadane. We're going to Antagaric. You know, maybe I should try using electrical tape to give it structural stability. That's actually not a bad idea. I'm worried that if I do something that's that conspicuous, that my wife might take things into her own hands and just be like, no. Which I do not want. That is true. It's also like hidden away in a position where it's really just not that obvious. Because like my computer setup is like in this corner here, right? So it's like, and then there's 2 monitors that are sort of like blocking line of sight to the mic. It's like a whole thing. Though I am saying all this out loud and she's in the other room right now because she's got the day off. So, you know, she's generally not listening when I'm streaming, even when she's home. Burn the evidence. Exactly. There's just no VOD for the stream, or the stream VOD just like has this gap in it. Do you expect a disaster with my audio cable electrocuting me, or do you expect a disaster with me walking into this dungeon and not paying that much attention? I think it's gonna be fine. Because I think that I can single pull from the entrance. Okay, well, maybe I can't single pull from the entrance. Oh, we got one. We got one. Okay. So, what do I want to do? Do I want to do the Mad Rush? I don't think I want to do the Mad Rush strategy. As fun as that is, I don't anticipate that going super well. Okay, this one's coming. Okay. We were able to kill it fast enough that we didn't get to see how much damage it does, which is good. I don't really want to see how much damage they do. I can try just pulling a few. The issue is that this is like a really bad position to fight in, if we're being honest. Like, this is just not a great corner, because we don't have line of sight to them while they're approaching. There's a suit of plate over there. I don't actually know how many enemies are in this initial pack here. I don't feel like there's that many. Like, Might and Magic 7 is not a very densely populated game. I feel like it might be the least densely populated of all of them. So, a queen would cause problems for us. Okay, we got 3 of them here. Let's activate sparks and start casting fire spikes. Wait, no! Oh god! I was on the... Alright, we're actually going to initiate Operation Get the Fuck Out of Here. This is not going to end well. Oh boy. I should not have actually run out. I think we should have done. I think we probably would have been fine in that corner. So we're going to try coming in here again. And we didn't aggro anything immediately, which is nice. We're going to pull them, and we're going to just try to see, like, if we've got 4 of them here, how dangerous is that, really? I don't know if a queen could actually insta-give me or not. They might be able to. But we have the ability to put down, like, a lot of traps and shit. So... let's get a Sparks out there as well. We have gotten fairly lucky so far in terms of what types of enemies are showing up at the very start. This is a queen. Died fairly quickly, but did take Goose out. Goose is regenerating. We're not poisoned. Okay. Okay. It occurs to me that we don't want Goose maintaining the preservation, necessarily. I guess it doesn't matter. Okay. Yeah, if I hadn't just gone crazy there, we probably would have been fine. We're gonna get a certain number of these approaching us eventually, I assume. But maybe not. Maybe they'll just chill there and we can murder them all. Once we get out of this initial box, we should have a reasonably decent setup here. These don't have that much HP. And they don't move that fast. Okay, mistakes were made. Okay, we have a queen here. We're not single targeting the queen, which is unfortunate for us. We are in deep shit. Queen's still alive. Queen's dead. Golden. We're in the green. We can save the game. We have 13 food left. Okay, so from here, the rest of the... I accidentally just was spamming clicks on this and looted the... I hit the ore. The ore just almost killed me. Okay, let's swap you to...
Ready to...
Yeah, you know, kind of dangerous to spam spacebar in My Magic Set, it turns out. Yeah, I think that we should be golden here. Everything from here should be fairly casual. What are you doing right now? Okay. So we're just going to rotate over here. Just some plate here. Okay, unfortunately, I should swap to Fireball. This will ensure that they can't just pile up on me. Easy peasy. Kinda cheesy. Wow, way easier to prevent them from just murdering each other if you can... This way. Alright, those things are going to try to rotate toward the entrance, I believe. But they can't because there's a door there. Is that a boss? I think that's a boss. That's a swapper. So the swapper might swap to a better location, but because of the fact that that wall they think they can get through, they're not even going to stand at the edge here where they would cause problems for me. Okay, I think it's just the one left, so let's swap over to Firebolt. Do I have to jump at all? I don't even have to jump, I can just stand still. Alright, so we can clear out the swapper. And with this down, we'll be probably over 65%, I think. I think there's less than 100 enemies in here. Alright, so we got to 65. We made the jump. Pop over here. We now have mana back. Can we get into the green? Monsters are weak and can no longer resurrect. Ooh, I'm in a bad position, but it doesn't really matter that much. Alright, we're in the green. So we can save the game again. Easy peasy. Just clear this out. And we can pop over here. Can remember the routing to actually do things. That might be useful, and it might be garbage. We'll find out. We have a nice looking dagger. We have some chain and some plate. So the plate might be really good, it might be garbage. We have a lot of possibilities here. So, my goal right now... Oh. Okay, this blinked. Did I not loot all the chests? That was a normal queen. Okay, these are going to be a struggle to deal with because they do teleport around a bunch here. This has got some really weird, janky scenery in it. So did I skip a... Wait. Hello. Who dis? Oh, you were all dead. Okay. In the further forward, I guess. The lazy way. We can just save this. We have plenty of food. And who's gonna get this? I'm gonna give this all to Raven. Raven needs everything. Wow, we got luck on the dragon. Okay, so we can go ahead and loot this, and we actually managed it. We didn't blow ourselves up. Grab all this. Let's see. These chests? Did I not loot these? Did not loot those chests. Okay. Check you. Grab this. I thought there were 2 chests in that location. Are there 2 chests down here, maybe? Yes. Wow, there's so many chests in this dungeon. Holy shit. My Magic 7 is just loot galore. Ooh, we have a bow. We have 3 characters that do not have anything in that slot. So turns out it was 3. Delightful. Okay, so we can, let's go save so that we don't accidentally get ourselves killed and have to wander back to get all that looting done again. I think we were just in there. And did we grab this chest? I think so, right? Yes. So, now we just need to finish up the rest of the dungeon quick. Just pop on over to here. And I wonder where we get Expert Dark and 7. I think Deja is one of them. And I don't know where the other one is, actually. We haven't seen any bosses yet, I don't think. Okay, we need to set Fireball, cast Sparks. That slows these down so that we can actually start. Shit. Okay, we got it. No problem. No problem at all. Let's see. Got some plate armor. And we have oh wait, do I not have Fireball? I'm guessing Firebolt. Okay, we're not going to worry about it too much. Okay, the last one there, and then this is where the slimes are, I think. Sapphire Ooze. Okay, that's toast. Okay, we shot that too high up, but we might hit it anyway. Okay, we got an Emerald Ooze. That's the weakest one. It's the deadest one. Map completed. Oh, that was spooky. Okay, we are in the green and can save the game without any cost. Did we not have a boss in here? No, there was the swapper. I forgot about the swapper. Okay, we got the deck, we got the message scroll, and we need to swap over to Fireball.
Ready.
Okay. That's the first set cleared. Okay, we're in the green again. We can actually just save because we are in the green. Next, queen arrived. It's so beautiful. Got an Ascension Emerald. And these are positioned in such a bad location for them that they're like stuck on a wall, but I have full line of sight to them. That's just mean-spirited right there. We still have some here, but I don't think any of them are going to be queens because we already killed one queen. And this is like a set spawn. Alright. I think that's it. I think that's mission successful. So we have the ability to... We have the ability to get... I think we need to get one more full level. But now we can do... we can do the quest turn-in if we want. Do we have any other quests to turn in? Don't know that we do. So, we're going to see how close we get with just this, and then we'll head back to Thinger. We didn't loot this body. We actually didn't loot any of the bodies. Oh, we didn't actually trigger this event, now that I think about it. I don't think we triggered this event. We haven't looted this because we ran... Oh! Wait, we still have a couple of... Okay, wait. Can we get to you? I'd forgotten that we still had these up. Let's go! We saved one of the guards. Let's go. Mission successful. We are good rulers. That's us. That be us. You know, I should... I'm going to leave that corpse there. At some point, we're going to reanimate it. We're going to reanimate. There's more than one survivor. It's fine. How did this not occur to me that I have a necromancer in the party? A little bit of being dead is no consequence. Man. Yeah, that's the play right there. Is we're just going to revive the guards. If we ever do another caster run, we should definitely lean into that. Yeah, we'll do it. Okay, so we now have a bajillion enemies to clear. I don't imagine that they're gonna hit that hard. I think those are pretty weak hits, honestly. Okie dokie. Okay. Okay. All set. So once we've looted all of these, we can check our other stuff as well. Let's take a look over here. And having multiple spell hotkeys is so nice. Okay, that is the guard, so we're not looting that body. We're saving the game, and we're going to loot this. We have an axe, some boots. Okay, so save it up. How much progress have we made? Basically not, right?
Yes.
Okay, we have a two-handed... Oh, baby. That
No room.
is a big deal. This is a two-handed sword. It's usable next level. The next time we level up, we're all good. And
Who knows?
yeah, that's going to be a big difference for them. So this is plus 12 to all stats, which is not
Who knows?
bad. Do I have anybody who's
I
got
don't know what
something
it
that's not good? Okay, let's take a look at these. 42 HP on boots. Don't hate that. We have this. This is amazing, except for the fact that it requires level 52. GG. This still might be really good at 52. This is pretty good stats. It's got HP. It's got luck. It's got a lot of. It's got a lot of value on that. So we may end up needing to use it anyway. Let's see. How's my plate? You have Yoruba. You're fine.
We don't need it. This item's weak.
Okay, so we have this. We have this, which gives dodge, which we don't really need.
It's probably okay.
Meditation, luck, and spell points.
This is useful.
Okay, we have a life-stealing spear.
I don't know what it is.
Okay, so
This is good.
we have a life-stealing axe. We have unarmed +3, identify and elemental resistances, and fragment of a soldier's diary. So I believe that we are golden. So you are going to put this in inventory 5. Ooh, that is a 67% DPS boost. That is going to be very nice. I should have checked how much damage everybody was doing. Personality and accuracy. I guess I should probably endurance and accuracy and a little bit of luck. Let's slap this on you instead. This will give me a nice little boost. Okay. Anything else that we need to do right now? Probably not. We should do some inventory management soon, but we don't need to do it at this exact moment. So let's take a look at the store. That is true. So the Fire Aura will allow us to get some extra damage out. I'm tempted to go back into that dungeon just to see the damage portfolio. But
We didn't get here in time.
oh, we can't actually enter here, which doesn't matter because that's not actually where we need to go anyway. It's almost 5 a.m. So that's going to be good. Ashen Temper is Master Fire. So we need 20 skill and 50 grand to become a master at fire. And before I turn this in, I actually do want to look at my EXP. We got Might and Magic 8 just barely ticked up from completing that quest. That's clutch. So now we can go to Might and Magic 8. We can clear a dungeon there. And this will be great. So it's 5 o'clock in the morning-ish. Do we want to pick up some of these spells here before we head to 8. Do we have anything that we need? I don't know that we have anything that's super high importance right now. So let's see. In Might and Magic 8, we're going to be doing what? We have... I would prefer not to try to do the temple. You know what? Maybe it would be fun to try the temple out. We haven't done the Abandoned Temple yet, no. We haven't done the dungeons in Thinger. The Abandoned Temple probably is the most interesting choice, honestly. So that's not a bad idea. Also, it was after 5 o'clock. We could have gone to the elemental guilds and things. Do I want to do that now? I kind of already went over here, so we're probably not going to worry about it. We actually should trade as well. No, let's go look at the stores in Might Magic 7. Also, it's 5 o'clock. We can go do the thinger as well. We can play Archimage over there. So, wasting a little bit of time meandering back and forth, but I think that this is reasonable. Let's go to the Earth Magic Guild. No, we don't need Earth Magic. The spells that we need to maintain are we done with Spirit? I think that we don't need anything from Spirit at the moment. Fire
to the Fire Guild
has haste, which we can't use. Fireball, which we can't use. We could get Fire Aura so that we have the ability to put that on a different character. If we wanted. But we don't... I don't know that I want to right now.
The Guild of the Mind welcomes.
So we have Telepathy, we have Charm, Remove Fear. I don't think there's anything of particular interest there. That Guild of the Body, Regen, Cure Poison, which we already have. Hammer Hands, which we don't need. I think we have the bulk of that stuff. Do we pick up Hammer Hands just because it's the caster run, so we should pick up every... You know, that was a bad idea. That costs so much. But we're doing it anyway. We're doing it anyway. I don't care.
Welcome to the
That was like a full master skill that we just kind of didn't bother with. Okay, so Air Guild has a bunch of shenanigans that we can learn. Do we want to do that? I'm not sure if I want to bother picking up those kinds of spells yet on Raven. I am enjoying having like the Elementalist just be the one who's doing basically all of the elemental spellcasting for now. We'll eventually want to transition some of our spells onto Raven, but honestly, Raven is so often like my primary, like the only character that's able to deal damage that I think that it might make sense to... Ooh, that's rough. We actually have lethal here. If we can get 5 gems, we can use the apprentice, and that's lethal. So we're not going to use this because next turn we have lethal. If they do... Okay, they killed themselves. Perfect. Perfect. Mission successful. Alright. Also, we should probably... Okay, we need to do some inventory management. So...
Who knows? I don't.
I don't need to worry about identifying that, I don't think. So let's have this be the inventory that we throw our garbage into, I guess. Anything that we need to hold on to. Potentially this. I'll just move it out for now. This we don't need. This belt might be useful on somebody. I'm not going to worry about it at this exact moment. Okay, that's done. Nothing in you. Okay, you don't necessarily have to worry about too much. Sword and sword. Hey, Celestial. I have the best luck. It's called pure skill. starting out with lethal, and then the enemy kills themselves. Pure skill.
Need a new weapon?
Okay, let's sell all this.
Thanks.
There isn't any room.
See anything you want?
Okay. Don't think I have to worry about any of this stuff. Okay, we don't have to worry about these. I'm actually not going to worry about this, we'll just sell it. Okay. Let's go. We have a normal axe here. We have remove curse here.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, so we picked up an extra copy of remove curse,
Need a new weapon?
which is remarkably sensible. Feels like that should be against the rules. Imagine being sensible. Okay,
Thanks. Come again.
so we're heading to Might and Magic 8 again. I guess I could sell the thing if we wanted to.
Can I help you with anything?
Sell you.
Thanks.
Alright, so that's done. Now, you need to just swap to inventory 2, swap to inventory 2, swap to inventory 2. You're already in inventory 2, but you can actually swap to inventory 1 just for shits and giggles. So, that's going to be done there. We can... I would prefer not to have to do Gigasorts, because every time I do a Gigasort, I'm going to reset this inventory. Where's that bow, actually? Where did I put that? I didn't sell it, did I? The bow that just gives me free damage. Though, I don't know that I want to equip it. Does it have anything intrinsic to it that's useful? I think I might have literally sold it. Okay. Not worrying about it. It's fine. So we're going to go to Enroth? No. We're going to Jade. So we head over to Jade, and then we can... oh, right. Do we want to do training? We will check on training. It's Monday, so yes, we'll do training now. Because Monday is not a day that we can travel. We need Tuesday or Thursday. So we'll hope that training takes us to the correct day of the week so that we don't have to manipulate time at all. If it doesn't, that's fine.
Practice session. Excellent. Excellent.
But yeah, this gets us to 31. At 31, we get access to... So, where'd the sword go? Oh, okay, here's a whole inventory that I didn't do anything with, including that. Where's the sword? Did I sell the sword? Am I a lunatic who sold the sword? No, we're fine. It's in inventory 5 of this inventory. Blomp. 211. Ooh. Beautiful stuff. Okay, so are you the highest DPS in the party now? You are listed as the highest DPS in the party now. That's pretty cute. Okay. We can also slap this on you, just for shits and giggles, and then we can pretend that this inventory never happened, because I don't want to deal with it right now. Okay, so now we're heading over to... It's Friday, so we have to wait several days. So I think we're going to do the next Endless Arena. I think that's what we're going to do next. Save this under caster save. We do this. We do this. We do have 5 food, which is more than 0. 0 food would be a problem, but 5 food is fine. We can save the game. Pop to the arena. We're using Light Bolt on our Seraph. So it's just, you know, the basic. Okay, got our followers of Ba over here. Oh, hello. Very much faster. This is concerning. Maybe I should... Oh, wait. I don't... Actually, we do want to use this. Hasn't been useful thus far, but it will be as we... Rude. Okay. Oh, got too close. It's fine. Oh shit, what a Fanatic. Okay, Fanatic is down, I think. Unless I just killed some of the... Ooh, that's concerning. Don't love seeing that a legendary has protected me from lethal damage. Oh god! There's the Shadow Fanatic, which means I can't see where I'm going. Ooh. Okay, the Fanatic is rotating around here. Fanatics are very fast. So... Ba cultists run the full gamut from extremely fast to extremely slow. Luckily, the fastest ones, the Fanatics, are not able to use ranged attacks. So, okay, we're golden. We're gonna wait for a little bit to allow our mana to regen up a bit before we loot this. Okay, we're grabbing it now. Okay, this is concerning. These do have ranged attacks and melee attacks. Yes, Shadow turns off Wizard Eye. That is what Shadow... So if you're too close to a Shadow enemy, your Wizard Eye gets disabled. Alright, let's try this again. We got ourselves trapped in a very bad position that we didn't need to get ourselves trapped in just now. That is a lot of Mystics right off the bat. My hope is that I can actually keep some of these, like, cleared so that I don't have to deal with quite as many later on. Okay, let's cast Sparks. Get some, but not all of them off my ass. And then this one tags me, and I'm sad. Okay. I missed the second target that was right on my ass. And that was the Fanatic, unfortunately. It was the one that was much more important to hit. Okay. Don't want to clear those out, actually. I'm going to focus this one. Okay. I'm actually just going to stand right here for a second, because we don't have that big of a situation on our hands at the moment. That one right there in that corner is going to cause problems for me because it's blocking me from hitting the others. Okay, we have a follower on our... Oh, shit! One just spawned on us. Okay. We do not have... Okay, that one's toast. That was unfortunately just a follower that we just killed. We do have the boss here. That is a leecher, which is very bad for us, actually. At least it's not swift, which would probably just kill me. But because it's pretty fast, regardless, it has the ability to get into leech range pretty easily. And we're going to actually cast a Sparks. And then we'll turn around. Please? Oh god. It's in range to prevent us from regenerating. We got the sparks off. That slows it down. Okay, it's now toast. Now, the next group is a mixed... Whoa! It is a mixed melee and range. Give me a second, I'll check. Damage output is... Cassowary is doing about 26%. So yeah, it's a very, very even split for the most part. Okay. Okay, we have... Yeah, right now we have a pretty balanced setup. I think that it's probably going to remain... We're going to die here. I don't know how they didn't hit us there.
Come on, then.
Maybe they started casting a ranged attack, and so they missed. Off the back of that. Shit, this is the wrong character. We need to sparks to hit the things behind. Whoa! That's a boss. It's a shadow boss. Okay. Fuck. There was one enemy that was, like, not with the rest, and that's the enemy that I hit with a fireball. Okay. Rude. Could you stop being right on my ass? Oh shit, we got fully obliterated there. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do this, actually. The ranged attacks are one-shotting us, and I don't know that we have enough DPS to make this work right now. What level are y'all? Oh, I didn't get expert identify monster either, which I think we had access to. Let's see. You're level 30. So these are about my level at the moment. Well, Mana Shield would probably just kill me, right? Because I don't have enough mana to actually make use of Mana Shield too much to... Like, every hit would be zeroing out my mana bar, right? So then I just die. Because I don't have, like, a mixed party. So, like, I don't have melees to do damage when I burn through my mana. Because, like, normally, like, a typical party is going to have more of a balance between the two. Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that would really help our damage right now. Getting Expert Dragon would be a huge deal. That would give us we'd get a lot out of that. and getting expert dark magic. We could get up to master dark magic right now, but we don't have access to the the whatchamacallit. I think we're just gonna move on. But
Come aboard. Anchors away.
words. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we have available to us to make things easier. If we were willing to just like go to different locations just to pick up skills and things like that, that would be like hugely influential. Like we could right now be throwing out like infernos and shit like that. Obviously, we would need to have prioritized our skill stuff differently because we need to get up to 20. But I think that we could be doing that right now. But I am fairly content with how this is going. I'm not actually that concerned. The enemies there were roughly my level, and we are so it's the kind of thing where it should be pretty reasonable to do it, and I think that it is. I think the person who went down... No, the person who went down was not the person who was maintaining preservation, so we were definitely one-shot pretty cleanly there. But yeah, I think that we could... You know what we should do? This will be fun. Let's try to do... We should probably go buy food. We should try to do this place with... we should try to kite the initial pack around that starting room. So rather than like jumping to where we normally go, we can just try to pull them around that room. Most likely it's going to end very badly for me to try that, but it'll be fun. I always forget where the inn is here.
Have a seat.
All right.
Coming right up.
So we have 3 saves for this dungeon, which is not a lot. This dungeon is pretty big and pretty dangerous as well. We'll see. There's a lot of tight corners, so it will really depend on the level of the snake people. The serpent men, if they're high enough in HP to survive for a few rounds of combat,
Let's investigate.
then okay, we have them immediately aggroed, which is interesting. Do we stand right here? Okay, they can hit me in ways that make me uncomfortable. So I think we do fight them using this, because they're coming up slowly enough, and I have enough DPS that this is going to work pretty comfortably. So this room is going to be probably, what, like 10% of the enemy cleared? Ouch. Okay, that's a concern. Okay. I should probably turn the fireball off. Let's swap back to acid spray. Yeah, the initial burst here, they really did quite a lot to me. They're gonna hit pretty hard. It takes quite a while, even with like melees, to really be able to survive hits. Because you kind of need like dedicated durability gear to maintain your survival, and there's 5 characters that you need it on, right? So I think we might be able to save immediately. We can actually save here. So I think we're going to pull the next room a bit. Do we want to just grab all of you now? I'm just going to grab all of these. And I think once we've... Ooh, these are moving very fast. I'm going to die. Okay. Okay. Rude. Okay. Who said I was gonna die? Oh, ye of little faith. What coward was suggesting? Who thought that pack was gonna kill me? Easy time. Okay, let's save this. Luckily, they don't have hard enough attacks to consistently drop me to dead. So like when they get me unconscious, they're not just killing me outright, which is very useful. So I can loot this. I didn't need to loot that mushroom, actually. We don't need catalysts. We have Prophecies of the Snake, so that's one of the quests for this place completed. And let's grab this as well. It's now 12:01, so about an hour to go. And we can now pull these. That's not optimal. Luckily, they are very, very quick to burn down. Like, they do not have a lot of HP. That was... Wow, okay, look. I'm very good at... Look, I played so much GoldenEye, I'm so good at hitting things around corners with bouncing projectiles. Just don't even worry about it. Just trust me. All part of the plan. Okay. Cleared that. Let's go down here. We can grab a few more. They're very, very fast. Okay, that was all of them, I believe. So... now we have... Ooh, we have a whole pack here. Not a huge fan. I should not have invested that much time into trying to get stuff open.
Got that one.
Like, I should have gone through another round of attacks. That was a 540 damage hit from Cassowary. Holy shit. Yeah, Cassowary is definitely keeping up. The scaling on Cassowary is doing pretty good. Like, I was a little concerned that Cassowary would start falling behind pretty quickly. But, like, a 500 damage hit that's respectable amounts of damage. So... let's loot all of this. And I think maybe we save again. I don't think we should save yet. Exactly. Wait, is this appearing, like, because I died? Or not died, but because I fell down so many times? I thought this was based off of, like, your perception skill. Because this wasn't showing up just now. A little rude, not gonna lie. It's like when you unlock easy mode in Devil May Cry 2. Or 3? Might have been 3. Let's see. It was actually very funny. I had a friend who, like, mentioned how, like, insulting it was that the game unlocked, like, easy mode by you dying enough times in, like, the first couple levels. And I didn't know that because I didn't die enough times to unlock easy mode. I was like, oh, is that a mechanic? I think that was like the most insulted they had ever been. It was like adding further insult to injury is like, you know, oh, also when I talked about how, you know, insulting that was with people who it didn't happen to, it's even more insulting because they're just like, what are you talking about? There's an easy mode. Just adding insult to injury. I think it's funny. I think that is a funny thing. I think you have to die enough times on, like, literally the first level, which it's a Devil May Cry game. Like, Devil May Cry is not an easy series, right? Like, it might not be considered super difficult by, like, today's standards, because there's now been, like, Devil May Cry has existed now for long enough that, like, that kind of, like fairly difficult, like, action game is just, like, a thing that exists, right? Like, it's a whole genre now. So I don't know that Devil May Cry is necessarily, like, super hard these days if you're not playing it on, like, the hard difficulties. But yeah, certainly at the time it was considered very difficult. And I really enjoyed the Devil May Cry series. Unfortunately, I tried to play that with my wife at one point, and she saw the opening cutscene of Devil May Cry 2, which is incredibly funny and over the top and ridiculous. It's the kind of, like, thing that is, like, you don't see stuff that's that over the top in, like, most American media. The funny thing is that she sees it and she's like, oh, yes, I'm intimately familiar with this. This is like just any Tamil movie. This is just any Tamil movie. I've seen this too many times. Turn it off. And having watched some Tamil movies, it's like, yeah, no, now that I have experience with this, I know why you're just like, no thanks. I've seen enough of this. One of the things that's, I think, very interesting about media is that, like, one of the things that's fun about, like, interacting with media that's not, like, media you grew up with is not that it's better, right? Like, it's not that it's better, it's that it's different. It's following a different set of, like, tropes and, like, stuff that is fresh and exciting to you, not because it's fresh and exciting. People have been doing it for a billion, years. Like, this. It's just that the cinematic language in different, like, areas is just different. The way that people construct their narratives. So something that is, like, very, like, crazy, like Devil May Cry 2, is very, like, wild to a Western audience for the most part, because it's just like, so I guess camp is the word that I would use, right? Like, camp, I think, is the appropriate word to describe Devil May Cry. But in other places, it's actually not that unusual. It's just like, oh yeah, that's, pretty much par for the course. Oh, okay, so you don't have any HP. These are gonna melt. We are very... very prepped for this. There's a possibility that they have the ability to one-shot us. Ooh, that was concerning. I would imagine that the Serpentman Warrior can just one-shot me. They certainly can if they poison me, right? Like, a poison is definitely gonna kill me. But yeah, this room has just so many enemies in it. I am looking forward to having, like, a full cadre of ranged attackers. Yeah, I think I replayed the original Devil May Cry at some point fairly recently, and I don't think it was nearly as hard as I remembered it being, which is not necessarily saying a lot, right? Like, the first Devil May Cry, I don't know that I finished it. I think I did, but it took, like, a long time, right? Like, the original Devil May Cry was extremely hard. I really struggled with the original Devil May Cry. And Devil May Cry 2 I never actually finished. I never actually finished the game. It was too hard for me. And I came back to it, many years later at some point, and it was still kicking my ass. Okay, that's a venomous serpent warrior. It's good to have the boss be one of the warriors and not... Oh, that looked like that was a... Yep, that's a boss. I should probably swap from Fireball. But I am kind of lazy. Okay, we got... I think that was a hammer. Okay. Okay, the others have not come out yet. We have a venomous warrior. in play. I should probably... That is a Plagueborn. We have Venomous and a Plagueborn at the same time here. I'm assuming that this is going to get unlocked at some point, but it might not just because it's going to die too fast. We haven't seen that third boss yet. I just saw its name on the list when we were doing stuff just now. This isn't the boss, so I don't know where the venomous one went. Let's swap to the shotguns. That one's toast. I'm very concerned. That's just normal Superman Warrior. Is the boss also trapped in that corner? That one's toast. Let's go save. We've now cleared 2 of these bosses. And... let's see. Super evil transformation was incredibly cool. You know what was really good? Is Neo 2. I really enjoyed Neo 1. Neo 2, though, was so fucking good. Like, I was, like, shocked how good Neo 2 was. I mean, I've beaten the game, but I haven't, like, beaten, like, the, like, harder difficulty settings. I keep coming back to it and being too bad at the game to, like, do much. But, god damn, is that a good game. Oh, god, that... It's like, it's not anywhere near... It's like a mixture of, like, so many cool things. Like, it's got, like, a mixture of stuff from, like, Diablo, Devil May Cry, and a little bit of Dark Souls. Like, the checkpointing system reminds me the most of Dark Souls. But, like, the way that you, like, fundamentally go about clearing is a little bit reminiscent of it. The combat system is very, like... It's very much not the slow and methodical that you see in something like Dark Souls. It's much more akin to Devil May Cry. The loot system is very similar to, like, Diablo. And you have these, like, just very cool, like, builds and stuff that you can do. One of the things that I thought was really cool about that series, I really appreciate that they only have one set of voice acting, and basically you have characters that are speaking in English and characters that are speaking in Japanese, and some of the characters will flip back and forth between the 2 languages, and because you have a character who's from is he Scottish or is he English? It's probably English. But you have one guy who's English, and he's speaking in English for the bulk of the game. And some characters, like, will be translating and things like that for other characters. And there's, like, a level of, like, realism to having the dialogue everybody is speaking in the language that they're speaking, right? So like when a character's speaking in English, the audio has them in English. When they're speaking in Japanese, the audio's in Japanese. Like I really, really enjoyed that. Like more than, it seems like a very simple thing, but I enjoyed it way more than you would have expected me to care about, because it was just so interesting to be like, oh yeah, you know, I don't have to choose between, do I want to be able to understand what the hell is happening, or do I want to like, do I want to be able to understand this person audibly or rely on subtitles? Every player who plays Neo, no matter what, you know, country they're from, the experience of the game, you're meant to, I mean, obviously if you're bilingual, that's a different thing, but if no matter what monolingual setup you come from, you do not understand all of the characters with that one language. And like that's very different than like in a lot of games or media, if you like the vast majority of the game is in one language, and then there's just like occasional bits where someone will use a different language. So those games have like a harder translation issue to deal with, because it's like, how do you acknowledge the language change where like someone was speaking in Japanese and now they're speaking in English, and it's like, okay, well, how do you handle someone speaking English in your English translation, right? That's a hard thing to deal with. Is like, okay, well, now we've localized it to English, so what do we do? Have them speaking in French or something? Which I think is fairly common. I think people have like characters speak in French instead of English for the English translation a decent bit, which is a decent workaround, right? That's a decent workaround to the problem, but having the ability to just be like, oh yeah, no, they're like, the characters that are speaking in English are just speaking in English, and the characters speaking in Japanese are speaking in Japanese. Very cool. Man, I really enjoyed the Neo series. Like, I felt like Neo 1 did a really good job, and then I felt like Neo 2 really, like, took what Neo 1 did and was like, what if we just yes-and this in a very cool way? Very fun stuff. Let's see here. It is funny though, because like there's certain characters who show up anytime you're dealing with like stuff in that era where it's like, I'm definitely supposed to know who this guy is, right? Like, I'm definitely supposed to know who you are, but I do not know who you are. You have a lot of characters that like show up and it's like, you know, look, I know who Nobunaga is, okay? Oda Nobunaga is someone who I am familiar with, okay? I know who you are. But this, like, monkey guy that keeps showing up, I don't know what the hell is going on with you, but you keep showing up in every piece of media, and I don't actually remember who you are. But he's like, added in because he's, like super relevant, like, historical figure or something. Like, he might have been, like, the guy who becomes Shogun or something. I don't fucking know. I don't know who this guy is. But it's funny because he keeps showing up, and I have no idea who he is. Because I think he's in Neo and Onimusha, and he shows up, I think he shows up in, like, in Neo 2 or something. I don't know. But then he's in Onimusha as well, I think. And it's like, who are you? And I think that I Googled him at some point, trying to figure out who the hell this guy is, and he's actually like an important historical figure. He's like the guy who wins this Warring States period. It's not the Warring States period, that's China, but like it's that kind of a period, right? And he's like the big winner, and so he keeps showing up, but apparently like people don't like him much because he's not like framed very he's not given flattering framing in any of these narratives that I've seen him in. So and that might just be because he's not Nobunaga and everybody loves Nobunaga. Okay. Okay. So, we're making our way through here. I probably should have gone and gotten food while we were outside, huh? That would have made a lot of sense. Because, like, it's not exactly difficult for me to get to a place where I can save. The enemies are all literally locked in place. Okay. I also need to check my EXP. And we have tons of EXP to play with. We are golden. Okay. Unfortunately, this party is not going to have an easier time with Murmur Woods. Though, they will have an easier time than you might expect, because they are ranged characters. And Murmur Woods, I think, is fairly... reasonable for a ranged party. Let's take a look here. Did I do both of these already? It looks like it, yes. So I think that we're ready to grab this. This, I think, is a really big room. Or rather, it's not a big room physically, but I think that it has a lot of enemies in it. And it has a bunch of elevation stuff, which is a bit of a concern. I should... Oh, that's an issue. Okay, we don't have our Elementalist casting Fireball, which is an issue for us right at this moment, because we need to be able to hit the entire enemy party, not just a single target. Damn. Okay, that one's toast. I'm just realizing we only have like 72% clearance. What the hell? Is a quarter of the dungeon in this room? Okay, we're actually gonna leave and save. Oh, never mind. I was gonna leave and save because I was like, could I just like pull this entire pack and just AoE them to death? I only have the one character who can AoE, but I do have a lot of room to play with here. But I would prefer... I'm concerned about the fact that they're not coming up to where I want them to be. So, I guess we cleared this one out. This is a... It's not a wood serpent. Okay, that one's toast. Oh, hello. You're not going to rotate at me one at a time? No. Okay. We're going to go save. Oh, we haven't gotten the left side of this at all. Never mind. We've got plenty of space. I think we are going to go grab some thinger. We're going to go grab some food quick. Though, going to grab food is probably going to take more time than it takes for me to just, like, walk out and come back in, if I'm being honest. So, maybe we just walk out and go back in every time. Let's try to clear out that entire room with this save. And then once we've cleared out that room, we go save. And then once we are saved, we'll clear, you know, some amount of the other place. It's very concerning. Okay, we got a nice big pack here. Nice big pack. Okay, we need to get the fuck out of here because they're too close to us right now. We need to get the fuck out of here. Keep going. Okay. Okay, we need to keep going. Rude. Oh no, poison. You're fine. We have cure poison. We are ready to deal with that problem. That was very rude of you. That was very rude. Okay. We jump across just in time. Again. Okay, we're fine. Everything's golden. Okay, that could have been a boss, so that was an incredibly dangerous play there, but that's fine. I think this was the right choice. It was clearly the correct choice. No gainsaying. We got... Whoop. These can still poison me. Okay. That's a problem. Okay. We are low on mana. At least at some characters. Rude. Look, I'm trying to loot and you're like interrupting me, and that's very rude of you. So could you not? I have to like move my hand around when I do that, so you're being very rude right now. So that's a gemstone. Okay, we got the book. Alright, so we cleared out that room. I feel like that was a pretty decent way to pull that. And let's go save before we come back in here. We'll just go save and then start clearing the next set. We have not gotten enough experience yet to trigger the thing to happen. I'm trying to remember what I need to click on for this. There's some switch somewhere that I never remember, but that's fine. We don't get to remember it. Why did you get a quest completion? Oh, is that because I picked up the Prophecies of the Snake? Yeah, that means that we can get... Once we get to Murmurwoods, we can immediately get a promotion for our Seraph. I think one of these does do the job, but I don't remember which one. I could be wrong. It might be something that I need to click on. It's not the one that's right in front of it, is it? No. Alright, we're gonna do the next side of this first. That way I can just save, not have to worry as much. Oop. Got an axe. Rude. Ooh, you are very... Okay. Alright, that's just the next room, I think. So we don't have vision. Anything else in here? Okay, that was concerning. Could have easily died there. Looks like the elders aren't one-shotting people. So, at the moment... we should be mostly safe, unless we pull, like, a lot of them. It takes, like, 2 rounds of combat to pull... or to kill the warriors, I think. That is a standard warrior. It's not a... Okay, we're at 95% now. So let's loot you. I do want to kill all of the extra ones. That was very close. A little too close for comfort. This, which we already did apparently. Either that or just didn't spawn.
Nice shot.
Okay, we're at 99%. Let's open this again. It still didn't spawn, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. Okay, this is a dead end. Okay, nailed it. And we can go over to the other side. Pull the next group. Okay, map completed. That means that we can rotate over to save at will. Okay, in the green. Save under danger. Okay, I don't just need to click on this. What do I need to do? Okay, this one? Okay. I don't know why it didn't trigger the last time. It's not that one, I don't think. It's that one, okay. Alright, so that's the Idol of the Snake. So we now have the quests done here. And we're just looking to clear up the last few enemies. We have... bolster level here is still a level higher, so we have quite a bit that we're going to need to progress through here. We're in the green, so we just have the spawns now. So we'll spawn all the rest of the enemies, and then we can figure out what kind of shinies we've picked up. Mission successful. I think that's everything in here. We can now move on to the other place. Pop down here. And let's save it up under caster save. So let's take a look at what we've found so far. So we found an axe, found this, shields, which we don't need.
This might be good.
Sleep and consciousness immunity shield. This is a lot of stats that we don't need. That's pretty accurate interpretation of events. Identify a monster. Okay. 47 for... Ah, goddammit, we're in inventory 5. We're not supposed to be in inventory 5.
We don't need it.
Okay, we have an axe that's actually pretty good. Too bad we're not using axes. Let's see here. Okay, Flame Aura. Probably not going to find anything of interest in this inventory, though, 22 int on gloves isn't terrible. Not terrible. Okay, next. Alright, don't see too much of interest here, but we have some garbage gloves on you, so we can just slap these onto you and call it a day. Nice. So it's 12:40. We should probably get our quest situation resolved. We can turn in the prophecies of the snake. We do still have another dungeon to do here as well that I am going to try to do on this playthrough because I think it's an interesting challenge because the setup is different, right? So it might end up being easier. It might end up being harder. Kind of unclear. We'll find out. So, but we do need to make sure that we have enough food for that. We need to have 10 food so that we can make one save during that dungeon. Is that the only other dungeon here? I believe so. Yes. So we don't necessarily need to do that today. Well, we're not doing it today. We don't necessarily need to do that on this trip, but it'll depend on how much EXP we have. It might make the most sense to do that, actually. That might be the thing that we want to do next. Because if we get that done, we will get access to some pretty high level loot. Not necessarily a lot of loot, but the loot that we will have access to from that is very high level. So, okay. Prophecies of the Snake. We are currently sitting on less EXP here than in the other two still. If we do this, that gives us not a ton of EXP, but enough. This might be a consideration. We're going to reload. We're not going to turn that in yet. I think we want to do the library. I think that'll be fun. We're going to try it. So, the way that the bolster level works is that for every level that you gain in a different continent than the one that you're in, it bolsters the level of the other continents, right? So if I'm in Might and Magic 8, if I'm in Jadaim, and I gain a level here, the bolster level in Might and Magic 6 and Might and Magic 7 will both go up by 1, right? So what I'm trying to do is spread my experience between all of the 3 areas so that I'm always maximizing how much bolster there is, right? So I want to be in the highest level place at all times and get it exactly to the point where something else surpasses it and then immediately jump to the other place in order to maximize the bolster level and thus the experience that I'm getting. So if I get too much overkill experience, so like let's say that I get like 2 levels of experience where I am right now, or I guess I would need to get like 3 because I just don't have any experience. But if I were to get like 3 levels of experience, then the bolster level in Might and Magic 6 will be level 20, right? And here it's still 18, and I'll be killing a bunch of enemies that have 18 additional levels when I could be fighting enemies that have 19 additional levels, right? So I don't know that it makes a huge difference, but there's like a couple of different mechanisms by which it does influence things. It's a non-zero factor. And so the previous runs, the previous run where I actually finished the whole run, I was working off of the assumption that the bolster level was by map. So once you'd loaded in the map, the enemies were all set to the level that you entered the map on. And that's actually not the case. The loot in the chests is, but the enemies bolster up to your current level every time you come back into it, right? So, not your current level, but according to the bolster mechanics, right? Which means that leaving an area mid-dungeon, if you tick another area up, when you come back to that dungeon, everybody in it is going to be a little bit higher level than they were before. And it can make I think that it makes a fairly big difference in terms of like your overall EXP gain. But it is... Yes, it's based off of your level the first time you enter that zone, because the chest loot is preloaded in the game. There has been additions to in the Maw mod, the thing that the enemy will drop in terms of like what is the type of item is always going to be the same. I believe, even if you leave and come back. So like if an enemy's going to drop let's see, what is this item? A leather jerkin, right? There will always drop a leather jerkin of the gods, right? These values are all loaded in. However, how rare the item is, so the quality of the item is partially dependent on the level that it drops at, right? So it's possible to go into a dungeon when you're at level 1, fight an enemy, loot it, and get like a basic version of a leather jerkin, reload so that you haven't killed that enemy, and come back in like 300 levels, and you loot it again and you get a legendary, right? That's a thing that can happen because the values that are associated with the item are all preset to a large degree. There's a bit of complication there because the enchantment of the item, this is my understanding, the enchantment of the item is set by item. So if I kill an enemy that drops a leather jerkin, it's going to drop this leather jerkin of the gods no matter which enemy I kill that drops a leather jerkin. So if I come back, if I go fight an enemy, kill it, and it drops this item, if I then go somewhere else, what will happen if I reload back to before I killed it, I can kill enough enemies elsewhere that eventually one of them drops a leather jerkin. It will drop this one here, and then the enemy that originally dropped this item will drop something else entirely because there will be a new seeded item, right? So currently, all of the next items on my list, so like the next leather jerkin, which is like specifically this tier of item, not just like a leather thing. It's the leather jerkin, right? The next time a leather jerkin drops, it'll have the same enchant no matter where I do it. However, it'll be higher or lower level depending on the level of the enemy that drops it. So, anyway, there's value in getting the enemies to be higher level. Is it like...
Yeah, great.
Where the hell am I? This is the elemental plane of Earth. This is the wrong place. We're not supposed to be here. That's not a dungeon. That's an exterior zone. So where is... It's right here. I was like... Huh, this zonin looks different than I remember it looking. And then I died. So yeah, we don't need to worry about the elemental plane of Earth. We're not going to do that right now. We are going to do this place, though.
I need healing.
So, how much HP do you have? We can't see them. The Tritons are potentially... Oh, actually, now that I think about it, this might not be possible on this patch. Because they've changed the way that the enemies move. So the Tritons, which previously would be inconsistent in their behavior, are now potentially going to be more consistently able to get up to me. God damn it. Are potentially going to be able to get up to me more consistently. So we'll see. Wow, I'm really struggling to... We're really struggling to even get in there. I have a suspicion that this is just not going to work. Not because of the fact that we're running casters, but because I think that these are more likely to be causing problems for us. But yeah, we were able to get up here, and eventually they rotate, but they didn't rotate all the way to me. So, that's interesting. Sparks should get the job done. Why did it not hit anybody? It's not hitting anybody because it's... Okay, because I can see the enemies. Can I just do sparks from here? That's too far up. That's not going to get the job done. They seem to be coming across and die and not getting the thing done. Unfortunately, getting this initial thing is mostly RNG.
Let's go.
That's a Leecher Boulder, so we are dead. There's no shot that we're going to be able to do this, I don't think. We'll see. We're at least hitting it with some of our spells. Oh, this thing ran to me, so this is going to just kill me outright. Yes, and we're out of spell points because we have a leech. There's probably... Let's see if there's another route we can take. Like, if I'm standing here... only the one actually approached me here. And we're doing okay DPS. I think that's the only one hitting me, so we might be able to make that location work for us, because we are spellcasters, we're not melees. So we have different requirements than... Nope, that just killed me. So some of them, I think it has to do with the height of the enemy. But we can try going over to the staircase.
I'm hurt badly.
If we're standing near the staircase, those don't have line of sight on me. I don't think. Something just hit me, so something has line of sight on me. We cleared out one of the boulders. Yeah, I think that this might work consistently. If we can get sparks to shoot down here. Lightbolt hit that boulder. Interesting. I want to check this to see if this is going to work. We might actually do the library as our next destination. This might actually work fine. My guess is that we're going to really struggle to make this work. We don't have to be here yet. We have other places that we can do. But this is a possibility for what we approach next. It might be kind of fun to do that tomorrow and just do some exploration, because we do have the ability to
Let's go.
be in different locations than we would be on the other characters. Like, we just have different options at our disposal. And like, if you look at this, right, we don't have any food, so we're not going to be able to actually clear this no matter what we do. I mean, it's also still 50 weird. But like, this is totally reasonable. We can clear out this entire pack potentially from here. But this is partially good luck. That boulder on the left side there is the highest level of the types. So that is going to be... basically, it can eat a lot of damage. Oh, wow, we just... Okay. We can, by tagging this boulder with this,
Beats me.
we're not hitting the boulder, I don't think. We're just hitting the Tritons. So the issue here is that the Tritons can probably burn through me in one hit. I don't know, though. This feels like proof of concept to me. Right? Like, this feels reasonable. I do think that we need to have at least 10 food in order to make this work. I don't think I actually want to use that. I think I want to just use Fireball, because this will hit all the Tritons. Right? Like, if I tag the boulder, I'm hitting every Triton, and you are going to get all the way to me. So some of these will be able to leak with this current position that I've got. I think that if I had the ability to save a few times, we could probably make this work. If we have that level of consistency there, which I think is fairly decent consistency, that actually wasn't too bad. Like, it wouldn't take too long to get a setup there that I think will work well. We can then start plowing fireballs into the entire pack. Once the pack is low enough, we don't have to be quite as concerned about leaks. And we're going to be consistently hitting the entire pack because it's an AoE. So, like, there's not going to be, like, somebody who's got full HP after we've done a shit ton of damage to everybody. So, if we're gonna have a failure point there, it's likely to be really early. So, I think we need to clear, like, 3 floors, maybe 4, in order to get to the 65% mark, right? So if we have to clear like 4 floors to do it, then that's going to be not terribly reasonable. If we only need to clear 3 floors, then what we can do is we can pick up the 20 food from Iron Fist. So we probably wouldn't do it right now. We'd do it after doing Iron Fist. We pick up a little bit of food from Iron Fist, so we have 20 food on us. With 20 food on us, we have 2 saves. We just pop into the first room, and we clear out the first room, we save. We go to the next room, we clear that room, we save immediately, and then we try to clear the third room. If we clear the third room and that's enough to leave, then we can leave and we're done, right? We can basically just leave the place, save the game, and then we can just clear each floor one by one. Without needing to worry about it. If we have 20 food, I think this might be reasonable. With 10 food, it's not necessarily unreasonable, but it's going to be a lot of time wasted. It's going to be a pain in the ass to do it with only 10 food, I think. And with less than 10 food, because we only get 6 from where we are right now, I think. with less than 10 food, I don't think it's worth bothering to try it. Because, like, I'd have to get so lucky to be able to get through each of the openings. And I'm not going to be able to practice the later floors to get, like, the exact positioning that I need to find to make it work and stuff like that. So anyway, that is going to be it for today. It is almost 1 o'clock. And I think that this has gone pretty well. I'm looking forward to trying this out. I think we'll do this dungeon as the next thing that we do in Might Magic 8 after we've bolstered up a couple more levels. We'll just come straight to here. But for now, we're probably going to go to do like the wolf dungeon first, I think. Unless we decide that we just want to walk over to Iron Fist, grab some food, and come back, which might be fun to do as well. I don't know. We'll figure it out tomorrow. Later, folks.